Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Drooks Milan Unboxing. This weekend on Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, we will once again get to see Saul Canelo Alvarez display his skills when he goes after another world title in the light heavyweight division. He's just unified the super middleweight division and established himself as the #1 guy there. He's moving back up to light heavyweight. He was in that division a couple of fights ago and he won a WBO title by knocking out Sergey Kovalev in 11 rounds. Now, Saturday night, he will be taking on an undefeated fighter, a young guy in his prime, WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitrii Bivol. Now, Bivol is 19-0. He's got 11 knockouts. He's not slightly past it like Kovalev was or a bit shot-worn. He is in his athletic prime. And still, there are those naysayers who say, it's a mismatch. Bivol has got no chance. And some people just won't give Canelo credit no matter what he does. But Dmitrii Bivol is a serious challenge. As I've said, he's not going to give up his title easily, depending from where you start counting. If I'm counting from where he won the WBA interim title, he's made 10 successful defenses of that belt as he got upgraded all the way to the top dog. But he's fought some good guys as well. He's beaten Sullivan Barrera, dangerous punches in Joe Smith, a solid former champion in Jean Pascal. So he is prepared for this challenge in front of him. He's never had an elite fighter like Saul Canelo Alvarez, but not many people have. And he will be looking to post a big upset. If we look at all the boxing opinion boards and what everybody's predictions are on the fight, nobody is giving Bivol a chance to win. And that tells you something about Canelo Alvarez. If he's far out of his natural weight and still the other guy's got no chance, then he must be good. Now, we all know who Saul Canelo Alvarez is, what he brings to the table. He's developed into the top consensus pound-for-pound fighter in the world today. But who's Dmitrii Bivol? Now, Bivol was a great amateur. He's primarily a boxer rather than a fighter or a slugger. He does have decent power, but he's not a power puncher. That's not his game. He hasn't got the heavy hands of, say, Arthur Beterbiev. He is a classical boxer. He's a stand-up boxer. He's got good hand speed. He's got, as I've said, he's got enough power to get your respect, but it's not, I think, a dangerous one-punch knockout power. He hasn't knocked anybody out over the last 4 years. And he moves very well. He's good at keeping the fight in the center of the ring. He's good at keeping his opponent at the end of his punches. Now, the thing with Bivol is in his last couple of fights, he didn't look too good to me. He fought rather ordinary guys like Umar Salamov, Craig Richards, run-of-the-mill kind of title defenses. And these guys you're supposed to get rid of in style if you're going to really be on the elite level. You're not supposed to have him make it close or be competitive for all 12 of the rounds. And that doesn't bode well for Bivol going into Saturday. But I suspect Dmitrii Bivol is the kind of guy who will rise to the occasion. Some fighters fall down to the level of their opposition. No matter what they tell you, if they're always motivated, it's impossible to be as motivated for Umar Salamov on the same level you're going to be motivated for Canelo Alvarez. So I do think Bivol will definitely have it dialed in. If he doesn't, then he never will be dialed in his career. He is the kind of boxer, style-wise, that could give Canelo some trouble with slick boxers like Erislandy Lara. Historically, he's had his troubles. Lara was a southpaw, Bivol was orthodox. So I don't think that is going to trouble him very much. Now, the thing of Saul Canelo Alvarez, if you have to look for weaknesses, he's not a guy who's a workhorse like another Mexican legend, Julio Cesar Chavez. He doesn't throw punches all the time. He's not a swarming kind of pressure fighter. He looks at the opponent in front of him, he studies that opponent, and when he starts getting into a fight gradually as the rounds wear by. So he's not a guy who's a workhorse, and that gives his opponent the opportunity to be busy, to be active, and to try and steal rounds. It's not difficult to win rounds against Canelo Alvarez. Joe Saunders did that. Sergey Kovalev was ahead for the first part of their fight. You can do that. But the trouble is, it's very hard to hit Alvarez clean with a shot. You may touch him and you may look busy like Kovalev did. But if you look at the Sergey Kovalev fight, very few of those punches got through solidly. He might throw 3 or 4, and the fourth one might touch Canelo. But a lot of his punches, even though the opponent looks busy, that's why a lot of people always complain that the opponent was robbed, because the opponent looks busy for rounds. But the opponent of Alvarez doesn't get their punches through cleanly, because Alvarez is a master at blocking and parrying the punches and getting out of the way, controlling the distance, and also he's got a very good upper body movement. He just makes those punches miss by inches. Now, Alvarez is getting used to now as a super middleweight and a light heavyweight to being the short man there in the ring, just like Mike Tyson used to be in the days. So Bivol does have a substantial reach and height disadvantage, but so did Kovalev, so did Callum Smith, even more so, and Alvarez has an answer for that. He knows how to get past the jab, and if he can't, like with Golovkin, he'll eat a few jabs to get on the inside and land his shots. So I think Dmitrii Bivol is going to get out there. He's going to steal, like they say, a couple of rounds in the way that Sergey Kovalev did. But the other thing with Canelo Alvarez, he seems to have one of the best chins in boxing. It's almost impossible to hurt the guy or to make him tentative and backtrack and make him think twice when you do hit him. So I don't think Dmitrii Bivol has got the firepower to really hurt Canelo Alvarez, and that's why I think Alvarez will find a way past the reach, and he'll start working the body. And as soon as he reaches the body of Bivol, he's a fantastic body puncher, and that's going to start counting. Now, I think Alvarez will get into the fight by round 4 or round 5. He's going to start finding a way to Bivol's body. People say he's not great at cutting off a ring, but he always finds a way to get you. He always end up somewhere on the ropes during a fight. And I don't think Bivol's going to be able to evade Alvarez like he did with Joe Smith. Alvarez is a much better boxer than Joe Smith is. But we can ask a question, can Alvarez stop Dmitrii Bivol? That's perhaps a more interesting question. I won't count Bivol out of his fight. It would be foolish to do so. He's in his prime. He's a bigger man. And he's got that amateur pedigree. He's prepared for his shot at Alvarez. So you can't count him out. He might be able to put it off. But like everybody else in the boxing world, I just can't see it. He's not going to win a close decision against the star of the show. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I think Bivol will have some success early on, like many of Alvarez's opponents does. But then Canelo will get to a body, slow him down, and he'll start taking over the fight from there on the inside. Now, can he stop Bivol? That's the question. Now, if you look at Dmitrii Bivol against Joe Smith, he won handily, but on 2 occasions, Smith caught him with a sort of a overhand short right, and the one that caught him was just before the bell for the round to end the round rang, and you could see Bivol was hurt. He did a funny thing with his legs, and he sort of staggered to his corner. So Joe Smith Jr. can hurt him with a single shot, but he couldn't get the second shot in. The first time was a bell rang, and the second time Bivol was just too slick for him. But if Canelo can tag Dmitrii Bivol, and if he can hurt him like that, he's a great finisher. He'll be able to finish him. Does Canelo Alvarez at light heavyweight, does he have a kind of power that Joe Smith Jr. has? Maybe not, but he definitely does have power. Look what he did to Sergey Kovalev. I think Bivol will be more durable, but if he can catch Dmitrii Bivol and have him hurt, he can finish him. I'm just not sure if he has, as a light heavyweight, that kind of power. So if I'm pushed for a prediction, I have a feeling that Canelo Alvarez is going to surprise people, that he will catch up to Dmitrii Bivol somewhere late, and he will tag him, and he'll find a way to finish him off. Much like he did with Caleb Plant. Plant was also never knocked out before then, and he was also a very good amateur in his day. So I think Canelo Alvarez is going to slowly work his way into the fight, as we've come to expect of him. And I think at some point he's going to hurt Dmitrii Bivol, and he's going to manage to put Bivol away. And I think that'll be late in the fight. I think round 11 sounds good to me. I think Saul Canelo Alvarez will score a stoppage over Dmitrii Bivol. He's already stated that he wants to unify the light heavyweight division, and we know WBC, IBF champion Arthur Beterbiev is facing his WBO counterpart, the same Joe Smith, and the winner of that would be the ideal next opponent for Saul Alvarez. For legacy-wise, Beterbiev is a strong favourite to prevail over Smith, and if he does, I would really like to see Canelo fight Arthur Beterbiev. I think legacy-wise, that's the best fight out there for him at the moment. It's impossible to pick against a redhead unless he'll have to go up to at least cruiserweight and face a Maurice Breedis before I get really nervous about his chances. So I think Alvarez prevails by late round stoppage. Tell me in the comments section what you guys think, and it will be streaming live on The Zone. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.